This is Stephen A. Williams with Making Money with Stephen A. Williams here on YouTube. Are you always crying? Are you always crying? No matter what, we are always crying. And I'm going to define what I mean by we are always crying. I was just today, I was at the post office and a baby was crying. Like, I'm talking about just screaming its head off. And I couldn't see where the baby was, but I was like, man, why don't the mom, do something to help the baby to get him to stop crying? And once I moved up in line, I was able to see a baby laying on the counter on a white quilt comforter, getting its picture taken. And then it all came to me that they were getting the baby was there laying on the counter getting his picture taken because the family looked like they were going to be traveling abroad. And yes, even the baby has to get a passport. But now, what the crying is about, crying, this whole video, about you crying, about me crying, about all of us crying, about the baby crying, is that baby started crying at a low level. The baby then started crying at a mid level. And then the baby just went all out crying. And this is the thing, is that the parents, the mother and father, knew exactly what the baby wanted. And this baby was 2 months old, at least 1 to 2 months old. I'm talking about a newborn. But they knew what that baby wanted. And that baby was communicating with them first on a small level. Hey, I'm going to cry a little bit. Then I'm going to cry a little bit more. And then I'm just going to start screaming. And that the point got across. And so what I want to kind of talk to you about today a little bit, I'm not going to go into too much detail, is that we are always crying. And some of the times when we cry, you cry, other people cry, we don't understand what the hell is going on. What do you actually want? And so in your life, if you don't have the things in your life that you want, you might be crying in a way that people can't understand you. And the first person who has to understand the crying that you're doing is yourself. How many times have you tried to do something? And that's a form of crying in a sense, because you are crying out that you want changes in your life. And you've tried to do them and you didn't accomplish them. And even though you were crying out, no one, even yourself, could understand what you wanted. So the first thing that you got to do if you want to make changes in your life is you have to understand what you are crying about. See, that baby made its parents understand the baby was a newborn, 1 to 2 months old. That baby made it clear to its parents, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, made it very clear, you need to pick me up. Made it very clear. Very, very clear. And this baby, a 2-month-old, can't speak in the same way that we can speak. So what are you saying to yourself? And it's just like you're crying out, but you're not clear about what you want. See, that 2-month-old baby don't have all of these distractions and different things and experiences that's running through its mind. It just knows, hey, if I want to eat, what I got to do? If I use the bathroom, what do I need done? And if I want someone to pick me up, what do I need to do? And it's very direct. Because we've went through our life experiences, we start to forget about how we need to be direct, especially when we're talking to ourselves and telling ourselves what we want to change in our life. So if you're trying to make changes in your life and you're crying out with your words and nothing is happening, that's because you haven't truly decided what you want. When you figure out what you want, then you will start taking the actions to get to where you want to be, and it won't be a bunch of crying or a bunch of talk like we see with a lot of people. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams with Making Money with Stephen A. Williams here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. I'll be interested in seeing what you had to say about this video.